It's about 11 o'clock. I have not heard a gobble. I have not seen a turkey. There was quite a few north of me working out in the open, down in a ravine. I don't know if they went northwest or if they came back east in these cedars, but I'm going to kick myself again, but I'm going to have my spotter bring my other ground blind, and I'm going to move it to where I was last night, just creeping into the trees, and I'm going to set it up for tonight. I'm not going to get all the way to their roost, but I'm going to get in there close where they were scratching in the trees and stuff, and I'm probably going to sit there this evening, but I want to get that set up now if I can. I'll creep in and get back out of there, and then I'll probably come back up on this hillside because I still think there's going to be some gobblers searching around and still getting back together, because I've been seeing 6, 8, 10, 12 gobblers in certain groups out scouting, driving around, and it's like they're coming out of the hills of the prairie, coming down to this riverland. So I'm going to come back and sit here, because if they're searching, they're going to try to steal these hens that I got sitting here. But we'll get all that set up, so tonight, if we need to, we'll use that blind. Alright guys, it's day 2, afternoon, and as you can see, I'm sweating, and all I did was walk into the blind. It is like 70 degrees out. Are you freaking kidding me? But I guess, at least it's not sideways snow. Just wanted to show you here quick. I moved. I'm probably about 350 yards from where all the turkeys roosted last night. I'm down in the bottom, and where I am is where they were feeding last night. I actually snuck in on them through the cedars, which are behind me. I'm right on the edge, and I passed 6 jakes that maybe had 2-inch beards. I let them all go at like 10 feet because there was probably a dozen gobblers that had beards dragging on the ground. So obviously I'm talking all this turkey smack. I gotta try to go for a big one. So let me just kind of show you what I'm doing. I do not have a jake, and I do not have a gobbler in this setup. Okay, there is a feeding hen. And if we look over here, there is another feeding hen. I don't have any centrals or nothing. Just 2 feeding hens. Now you can see it gets pretty rugged over in here. And they're roosting up, I believe it's that, no, it's this draw here. You can't really see it, but that's where they're roosting. Alright, so you've seen where I'm at, and you've seen my setup. Why in the world am I doing it? Well, like I said last night, they all crossed from the west. They came down in here, and they were scratching all over in behind me, but the big toms were strutting out in this area. And there's all these fingers. I got 3, 4 shooting lanes. They're huge deer trails back here. And it just looks like a deer has scraped by a rub, made a scrape. That's what it looks like all over in these trees. That's what the turkeys were doing last night. They were so loud scratching that I could literally slide on my butt down this hill with my screwed up leg. And I got, my closest one was like 10 foot. And I mean, there was a ton of them that far away. But, oh, I hear some hens right now. Let me call. I heard one hen. I haven't heard a turkey all day. It's gotta be, they gotta be out. Today they took off and they went northeast. So they gotta, and I'm hearing nothing. But I did hear a hen clucking. So that's good. What I'm thinking is is they're over here, and I'll turn the camera around for you. But I think they went out to the northeast today because my spotter said he could see them down in this bottom. And I'm back into the bottom where these trees are. They either come past me and go into these, they got all kinds of walnut trees down here. They either go into those or they're going up in these trees right off to me a little bit to the northwest. Or I mean to the southwest. But they go over here. And that's where they roosted last night. And there was, he said, 5 real nice gobblers out here strutting this morning. I was back in my other spot, which is a great spot. I left my Dominator over there, and I'm in the caretaker today. But I'll show you kind of where I think they're coming from, and then when I'm wrong, I'll show you where they really came from. Okay, I think they're over in this stuff, way off in these hills, and the river's over the hills, over that hill. That's the bluffs. But I honestly think they're gonna come right out of there, and they're gonna strut right along this side, and see this piece of like machinery type little thingy like a cedar? I think they're gonna come right along this side. So they're gonna, I think they're gonna come from here, they're gonna come right along, and come to me. So let's see if we're right. Nice thing with camera is I'll just click off and click on when they do it. Let's see what they do. Okay, so what we got going on here is they're at about 80 yards. So I turn the camera to the side because they're going to come right through this window area here. So I am ready. I'm going to have about a 10-yard shot. They coming right at me here. And I sit. And I sit. And lo and behold, they cut into the cedars about 60 yards from me and come right at me still. And this is what they start doing. So, as you can see, they start scratching in the cedars and flying up and roosting in the trees right above me. Now I'm going to turn the camera down because I can still see them in these trees slightly here and there. And they're scratching to beat heck in there. But it's thick in there. They didn't see me. They didn't anything. But I set up in the wrong spot. I set up right on their roost. How in the world am I going to get out of here without spooking these turkeys? I sit here and I wonder because they keep flying up in the trees all around me. And I'm going nuts because I can't make a shot. What would you do in this situation? Would you just jump out of your blind and run and freak out? Or would you spend the night in your blind? I mean, what's the right thing to do? They're bouncing around in these trees and going crazy. I don't know what to do. So I sit and ponder. So as I sit here, and I watch all these turkeys going up in the trees and bouncing around and I can't shoot them, I begin to wonder how I'm going to get out of here. Because all these turkeys are above me. I'm going to have to wait till dark. As I sit there and listen to them gobble and cluck and say their good nights to everybody, I begin to get more frustrated because I know they beat me again. So I sit here and I think, all right, they're right above me. I'll get them in the morning, but I'll start to sneak out. But the more and more I want to sneak out, the more and more I realize I can't leave because there's eyes everywhere. And then there's more deer. And the deer continued to go back and forth across this opening. And I can hear coyotes, and there's deer, and there's all sorts of critters. So I have to wait well into the night to try to sneak out of here. How am I ever going to leave? Should I just spend the night? Alright, so I'm kind of sitting in the ground blind on day 4, editing some of the videos. So if this looks like day 4, it's going to be a recap, and it actually is me recapping on day 4. But anyways, so day 3, I snuck in to the blind with all those turkeys that were roosted above me. And a couple of the hens came down, and I really didn't get footage because it was really early in the morning and it just didn't turn out good. But they all went back into the cedars, and I was on the east side of the trees, and they went to the west. They didn't know I was there, but they went to the west. So I kind of just drove around, had a few jakes and stuff, kind of crossing roads and stuff, just kind of saw some turkeys, kind of scouted around and just wanted to keep my wife happy. And my kids were getting on her nerves, so went back, kind of packed up, and then we kind of just scouted around a little and headed home. So we will continue. We're back now, but that's kind of what happened with day 3. It was kind of a short day, but hopefully day 4 turns out better.